Hey everyone, welcome to my channel where I talk about everything electric guitar. From book reviews and gear reviews, to guitar lessons and tips, to much, much more. I've got you covered. So guys, today I'm continuing the series, How to Play Dragonforce Through the Fire and Flames on guitar, where I teach you how to play this awesome, epic, power metal song, epic song on guitar. So the part of the song I'm going to be teaching you in this lesson is going to sound like this when played along with the backing track that I've included later in the video.
When the darkness is falling down and the time starts to fall right, the sound of evil after falls around the world tonight. Fighting up for the steel and the wastelands evermore. The scattered souls will feel the hell bodies wasted on the shore.
So let's get right to the lesson. So guys, the part of the song that I'm going to be teaching you today starts out on the A string with the 3rd fret, and you're basically going to be playing with tremolo picking C, D, D sharp, which are the first 3 intervals of the C minor scale. The 1st, the 2nd, and the minor 3rd. Something like this, played slowly. And then after this, you slide down, and then you take this, basically the power chord shape, which is your first finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then your 5th fret of the D string to make the power chord. So that's a C power chord, or C5. And you basically take this and slide it down. So slide it down 2 frets, which makes a B flat. So this little part plays somewhat slowly, should sound like this. And then you move down to the low E string to play the 4th fret, and this is just straight 16th notes all the way. There's no breaks. It makes it very tiring on your hand, but it goes like this. So pretty simple there. And then you move up 2 frets to the 6th fret. So this next part played somewhat slowly should sound like this. The 6th fret of the low E string. And you're basically just alternating between that note and its power chord. So next, we have this little part that goes like this when played slowly. So this little part starts out on the 8th fret of the low E string. You play some tremolo picking patterns on there, like I just demonstrated, and then you go to the D string, where you play the 10th fret, and then you play the 8th fret, and then you go back to the 10th fret. And then once you've gone back to the 10th fret, you go to the 11th fret of the low E string, and then you go back to the 8th fret. And then you slide down to the 6th fret. This little part played slowly again should sound like this. So guys, everything I've covered so far should sound like this played slowly. Okay, you're doing great. Let's move on to the next part. So it goes C, and then it goes to the D, which is the 5th fret, and then the D sharp, which is the 6th fret. Where it goes to the D string, where you play the 3rd fret, and then the 6th fret again, and then the 3rd fret of the D string again, and then up to the 5th fret, and then up to the 3rd fret of the G string, and then back to the 3rd fret, and then back to the 6th fret of the A string, and then back to the 3rd fret of the D string, and then back to the 5th fret. On this 5th fret note on the D string, you do a pinch harmonic. So after you played that little phrase, the next part goes like this. It is on the low E string, and you play the 4th fret, and then you play the 6th fret, and then you play the 8th fret. So it's basically, this is the fingerings. So guys, when you play this slowly, it should sound something like this. And then you basically just repeat that little low E string tremolo picking phrase. You go up here to the A string on the first fret, and you play some tremolo picking there, which would sound like this. And after you play that, you basically have to, I kind of roll my finger over to play this first fret of the G string. So it goes like this. The first fret of the A string is your pedal tone in this lick. So if you don't know what a pedal tone is, check out my video on Troy Stetina's book, Fretboard Mastery. It's all about theory. It's awesome. Yeah, there's a link to it in the description, and it'll be up in the cards. After you do this first fret of the G string, you go back to your pedal tone, which is the first fret of the A string, and then you go back to the first fret of the G string, and then you hammer on to the third fret, which I usually do with my pinky like this, like so. And then it kind of repeats, but it's a little bit different. This time you add the note of the open G strings. So there's this little phrase that goes, so this little part played slowly should sound like this. Good. The next part, which is kind of the last part that I'm going to be teaching you today, is played on this C note again, which is the third fret of the A string. All it is just tremolo picking on this note for just a sec. Like that. And then what you play, which this part gets a little tricky because it's a weird rhythm thing going on that makes it kind of grabs the listener's ear, which I really like this. And it's a great way to make boring music sound great, is to add some weird rhythm thing that makes it obviously exciting. You play the power chord twice, and then you go down to the B flat power chord, which is 2 frets down. It's again the 3. So, and then you play this one just once, and then you go to the G sharp power chord, which is down here at the 4th fret. After you play that B flat power chord, you go to the 4th fret of the low E string, and this is almost like a forgotten note. It almost feels like maybe they did it with their thumb, and it just kind of got bypassed in the like flurry of action happening right there, because there's a lot going on right there if you listen to it. So I think it is the 4th fret of the low E string right there. But anyway, this little weird rhythm part should sound like this played slowly. Okay guys, now that you've got it under your fingers, your fingers. Okay guys, now that you've got it under your fingers, here's a backing track so that you can play along.
When the darkness is falling down and the times are to fall right, the sound of evil laughter falls around the world tonight. Fighting up for the steel and the wastelands evermore. The scattered souls will feel the hell bodies wasted on the shore from the blackest place.
If I'm going to say one thing about this whole phrase, just make sure that your palm muting is very clean. There's no notes ringing out, not too much left hand movement, because that'll make it sound not good. You'll have all this high frequency, yucky stuff going on at the high strings. Make sure that you've got this clean, because if you don't, it just won't sound very good. If you've been following me for a while, or you have watched my latest video on how to view your gear with a positive attitude, you know that I like to talk about how I'm on a journey in music. So just don't get down on yourself if this is hard, because it is! This is Dragonforce Through the Fire and Flames. This is legit. This is like the hardest guitar song ever to play. Cut yourself a little slack, have fun with it, rock on, and you'll be fine. So guys, the whole part I've taught you in this lesson should sound like this played slowly. If you like this video of Dragonforce Through the Fire and Flames, make sure to subscribe, because there's going to be plenty more coming out just like it. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope that it helps you in your guitar playing, and if you liked it, please do hit the subscribe button to see my upcoming posts. Hit like, hit share, just comment if you have any suggestions. This whole series is because of a comment that I got, a request, so just comment away, and I'll be seeing you around for more. Rock on, and God bless.